Hey yo, what's up everybody? It's JD, part of the Straight Neck crew. Just want to let y'all know that we have over 30 episodes that have not been uploaded to YouTube just yet. You can check those out in our link tree in the description below. They're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and you will also get all of our socials, our Twitter and our TikTok. So make sure to check that out. And if you like what we talked about today, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, comment. We would really appreciate it. So on to the show. So Devin Booker's better than Ja. And he's better than De'Aaron
How
Fox.
he's performing in playoffs. I mean, postseason, Devin Booker performs. He's been to the finals, twice? Once?
Well, I mean, if I had to rank them in order, I'm picking Ja first, Book second, and then it'll be De'Aaron Fox. I do got to give credit to Devin Booker because what he's doing now is kind of ridiculous. I mean, it literally is. It doesn't make sense. I mean, for the past two games, I think he missed like no more than 8 shots or something like that.
He's 34 for 43.
34 for 40. No.
8 for 12. And
He's shooting more than 50%. That has to be more than 50%. I don't know the number.
No,
but I just know.
it's like in the 70s, bro.
Nah, bro, that doesn't make sense.
And he's averaging 26.8, 5.1, 7.4. 5.1 rebounds, 7.4 assists in the playoffs. Just with both series, not just against the Nuggets.
I mean, against the Nuggets, he's averaging like at least 30, I believe. I mean, he dropped the last game he dropped like 40 something.
47.
And then the last other game, the
36
game,
and 47.
Yeah, he has to be averaging 30, but nah, like
he's averaging close to 40, bro.
he's ridiculous. I mean, a part of it is because I don't want to discredit him, but he doesn't have KD on his team. And if you watch the games, I mean, they're doubling KD. They're doubling KD. You
They're
know?
doubling Devin Booker too.
Not as much as KD though. You know, he gets those shots, those open shots as well, and a lot of them are contested as well. But the focus point, it looks like it's more on KD. But as far as what he's doing, even with the double team or not, I mean, that right there, he has like to hold the record for it because I mean, as efficient as he is and the scoring that he's doing, I haven't seen him before. And without that, I mean, Denver. I mean, this could have been 3-1 right now, right? And if it's 3-1, we all know what 3-1 means. I mean, the game is over. So this series was over pretty much. I mean, he dropped that last game, and KD went off as well. But without those performances, the series would have been over 3-1. They're not coming back from 3-1 as great as those two players are. So, yeah, shout out to Devin Booker. He's been doing his thing. But as far as that order, or Ja Morant, he's better than Ja Morant and De'Aaron Fox. I've got Ja first, D-Book, and then De'Aaron Fox.
The fact that he's scoring this much in a postseason, even with Kevin Durant, that's impressive because most of the shots are going to Kevin Durant primarily.
Chris Paul is out, too.
Yeah, and so he has to step it up. They both have to step it up, and they're doing
He's stepping up his playmaking too, not just his scoring. He's playmaking for them too, in the absence of Chris Paul.
I mean, he's a kind of run point before Chris Paul was there. He wasn't the traditional point guard. He's more like a shooting guard that can run the ball, kind of like Westbrook. He can run point, but he's not a real point guard. He's more of a scorer. But the fact that he can do this with Kevin Durant and be efficient, probably more efficient than Kevin Durant, it's really impressive.
He is.
This is the second time. Y'all remember earlier in the season he had a 20 for 25 game? Y'all remember that? He had a game where he went 20 for 25, exactly like he did again. So I think he has been kind of under the radar, and we brush him off when we talk about like some of the best players in the league. And I think he's putting it on notice that, yeah, like he's up there, bro. I think, like, for me personally, the playoffs kind of have skewed the placement for Donovan Mitchell, for Ja, and has elevated De'Aaron Fox, Devin Booker, those players that kind of get overlooked. And you gave it an order. You said Ja.
Booker,
then Booker and De'Aaron Fox. I'm taking De'Aaron Fox and Devin Booker over Ja. I'm being for real. Like, I'm not being, like, this is me being unbiased, bro. Unbiased as fuck. I'm taking both of them over Ja, bro. At this point, I'm taking both of them. Just me.
So what? It sounds like you're going off playoff performance. Is that what? So would you have said this before the playoffs started?
Definitely not. Nah. Definitely not. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's skewed. Like, all this has skewed my look, but, like, if I need a player in the playoffs, man, give me Devin Booker. At this point, like, come on, bro.
I mean, it's kind of true. Like, Ja's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but there's just certain. If I was to pick one player to, I guess, be the cornerstone of my team, I'm picking Devin Booker. The reason why I wouldn't pick John Morant, I mean, he's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. He just doesn't. When I see a championship player, I don't see John being number one.
You see Devin Booker being number one?
I don't know.
I don't even know about that.
I think you're going a little far, bro. But I see
I'm
what you're
just
saying,
being
though.
honest. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen like LeBron James. He's the number one. Kevin Durant. He's going to be the number one. Or like Stephen Curry. Like they had 2 number ones. That's why the dynasty was virtually unbeatable.
Yeah.
Then you just like, let's say Memphis just gets Kevin Durant, whatever somehow. Who's number one?
KD,
Who's number 2?
Ja.
And do you think that team can take this? Do you think that team can actually go to the finals and compete?
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck
But
yeah.
Let's say John Morant's number 1 and say number 2, they bring in fucking, I don't know, Kyrie Irving or some shit. You know, someone of that caliber. He's a superstar, but not going to be the number 1 option on the championship team. I just don't see John Morant being that. As great as he is, it's no diss at him. The fact that you're a superstar and being the number 1 guy on the team, it just shows he's a great player. But championship teams aren't just great teams; they're phenomenal teams.
I feel like he could be the number 1 option on the championship team. I mean, if we look at, what was it, last year's performance? I mean, we went, well, the Grizzlies lost to the Warriors. Who was eventually the finals, right? Who won the final, their final championship, and it was a competitive series as well. I think there were like 2 games that were blowout. I remember Memphis blew the Warriors out by it seemed like 50, right? So they definitely competed. And Ja was the leader of that team. So I feel like if they would have won against the Warriors, they could have been the finals, right? They could have been the champions for that season. I know we're playing the if game, but they got 2 games against the potential, the future, the future champions. So they weren't that far off. But this Memphis team this year, they're not the same. They're injured, and Ja did underperform. I feel like the whole Memphis Grizzlies team underperformed in the playoffs. But is it expected? Yeah, they're injured, right? They don't have those core pieces. Like, Steven Adams was out, Brandon Clark is out, and then the last game, Luke Kennard was out. The series is pretty much over. But even then, Luke Kennard, he's a factor. He's somebody that you can worry about and can make a difference in a game just due to his 3-point shooting. So I don't think it was too far-fetched that the Memphis Grizzlies could have won the finals. And I think that Ja Morant could be the number 1 option on the championship team. As long as he has the pieces around him, he could be the number 1.
I think it's too early to tell. I think it's too early. I think it's still more to his game that he's got to add. I got to see a little bit more. But as a moment right now, he's not. But could he be? I think so. With the athleticism he got, his playmaking, he's gonna have to work on his jumper. That's the big hindrance on his damn game is his jumper. When it's falling, he has big nights. He's unstoppable when his shot is falling. And he also has to add from the mid range. He really doesn't shoot any mid range shots. It looks one dimensional right now, but I think he can grow in that aspect. And the success of the Grizzlies so far, can you attribute it because Ja Morant has been the number 1 option, or because we just have a really, really solid team? They just have a really solid team, and have quality players around Ja. And he may not necessarily have to be the number 1 option here in Memphis. I think Memphis is suited to be a championship contender without a number 1 option. Do you need the number 1 option? Maybe you need a closer, and that doesn't have to be Ja.
You need a number 1 option. Any team needs a number 1 option.
Look at Miami Heat.
You can't name one team that won the finals without a number 1 option.
The Pistons.
The Detroit Pistons?
04?
In 04? Come on, bro. That's like, 22 decades ago.
But it's an example, though.
2 decades, the game has changed.
We don't even know the players.
Even the Celtics in 08, they didn't have a number 1. They just had 3 really good players.
Paul Pierce was probably number 1.
Yeah, Paul Pierce is the number 1.
But do we mistake the number 1 option for the closer? Because, a team's going to have a closer. For sure.
That kind of is what a number 1 option. You're your responsibility is to be able to close, and not only that, but perform at a high level throughout the whole game. And it's not just on offense.
But I think Memphis has capable players that can do that throughout the game.
But who's going to be your guy? You can't see your number one option can't just be a one side. It can't be a glass cannon. You can't just be able to score buckets, but then when it comes to defense, you have to look like Luka. Like, as fucked up as it is, like, it's very rare when you can be so efficient on the offensive end that it doesn't matter how bad your defense is. Or vice versa. You can be a great defender, but if you can't score for shit, you're not going to be the number one guy. You need to have both offense and defense to be a number one guy, number one option, it's the guy of the team. Whether it's closing at the end of the game, taking the game-winning shot, or holding the best player in the second quarter to keep them, from scoring. So I don't really, and that's why I can't really see Ja Morant being number one. Of course, he's going to get you buckets. He can, get space for his teammates by drawing attention to himself. But his defense isn't all there. He's not slacking, but
yeah, he got stuff to add to the game.
Yeah,
sure.
for example, like in the play, and when you go in the finals, it's guard heavy in this league. You got Curry. Like, he's one guy that, like, just off the top of my head, can Ja hold Curry? Not necessarily at all.
Well, nobody can hold Curry for.
But still, you need to do something. You can't just let him run wild. You have to put some pressure on him, make him work for it.
But at that point, bro, I feel like that's team defense. A system like the Warriors, bro, and you got to attribute that to, like, what the Lakers are doing. That's team defense, bro, and team personnel, because
Curry can't guard anybody either.
Because, goddamn it, Dennis Schroeder can't guard Curry, but you have AD. You got LeBron. You got size. At that point, it's like, nope. There's no one-on-one defense in the NBA. Like, everybody's going to get fucking beat. Ja's going to get beat. I don't give a fuck. Who's the lockdown defender? Drew Holiday's getting beat. But, bro, there's nobody that can guard anybody. But the defense, I feel like that's more of a team thing. That's more of a how good is the communication on defense and how much effort you put in. And as the game wanes, that's when defensive lapse can happen, when you're fucking tired. When just earlier I was watching a video of the Lakers where Anthony Davis was tired. He was going to run off a pick. Anthony Davis anticipated that Curry was going to come around the pick, but Curry saw that Anthony Davis was already in that position, already tired, and he just went back door and beat Austin Reeves. It's like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like team shit. So I see what you're saying about defense, because there's good one-on-one defenders, but I don't know. Is there a lockdown defender, bro, in the NBA?
There's a lot of lockdown defenders. It's just, I mean, a lockdown defender doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lock them down each and every game. It's just pretty much your best defender.
I think we just have that misconception, though. They're like, you put this person on him and you're going to somehow shut him down.
Yeah,
like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
you put this person on Curry, he's going to drop 2 points.
Yeah, that's not happening, bro.
Yeah,
this ain't 2K, bro.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
But for example, like Marcus Smart, he's a great defender.
He's
great
a
hustler. His
Yeah.
offensive game isn't all there, but I mean, shit, for what he brings on the defensive end and effort, you don't need him to be a sharpshooter. You don't need him to be dunking on people.
Yeah, when he's making shots and shit, that's just like a plus. That's like an ad. That's,
Similar to like Draymond Green. Like Draymond Green is there to defend and make the other team just pretty much work for it. Like, there is gonna be no easy pass for a layup. There is no gonna be no easy shot at the rim. He moves the ball to his teammates so they can get open shots. And if he shoots down a three or gets a dunk in, that's just a plus.
It's a bonus, yeah.
Like, shit, ain't no one gonna say no.
Didn't he do that in like game? He was really aggressive in one of those games. He scored 20 points.
He was going
No,
early.
it was two. Game
Game
two.
two, he had 20 points, and then in the one game he had he was 11, 11, 9, almost a triple double. So,
Yeah.
but Ja right now, not. I don't know, bro. In the future, yeah, I feel like he's gonna progress though, bro. That much talent, he has to progress. And if he doesn't, that's a disappointment. But I'm not gonna say he won't, bro. He's gonna get better. You got another hot take, bro?
All right. So, you know how Memphis Grizzlies just pretty much threw Dylan Brooks under the bus?
Yeah.
Y'all think he's getting scapegoated?
Is he?
Because, I mean, think about it. Is he really the biggest issue in Memphis? Like, this is me being unbiased. I was high as fuck when I was thinking about this shit. So, and I was like, bruh, are they trying to scapegoat him? Because what did Dylan Brooks do all this year? He did some dirty fouls, like 2 or 3 during the season, right? he talked shit to LeBron like in the regular season and in the fucking postseason. But was that really the biggest disruption? Wasn't it, you don't know, maybe someone dangling a gun at a strip club more of a disruption to the team than
But
calling someone old? I'm just saying, bro. Like,
so you don't think you think he's being scapegoated?
I think he was a problem, but was he the biggest problem? I don't think so. And it's kind of an easy scapegoat. He's the villain. Get rid of the villain. No one's questioning it. And I don't know. I just kind of find it funny.
It's a weird situation. Is he getting scapegoated? Yeah, but the only reason he's getting scapegoated is because I told y'all, because of the response that they gave, because of the statement they gave where they said we don't want him back under any means. They made him look like the biggest problem in Memphis. But I do think he was the biggest problem, bro.
I don't know really if he was the biggest. I'm talking about this season. Like, entirely, like last season, he wasn't. But he was doing some bad shit, but I'm saying this season.
He's the biggest problem, bro. He's the biggest problem. Before the gun stuff, bro, but
I'm saying, like, it wasn't just the gun stuff. You had him punching a kid. You had the Indiana situation, like, bro.
But you also had Dylan Brooks. You also had Dylan Brooks, like, hitting Donovan Mitchell in the nuts. Right. You had him fouling, pushing Mike Conley, stepping over him. You had the moments with him and Shannon Sharp. You had the moments with him and the cameraman. Like, he's just doing way too much, bro. I think he just made it worse.
Oh, and it's like he didn't make it better, but I don't think he was the biggest problem. He was a problem for sure. Like, I ain't gonna deny that.
And like his actions never changed. Like, he never calmed down. It's like throughout the season he was doing stupid shit, and then the playoffs he just made it worse by doing what he did with talking about LeBron and doing all that. Like, he's a problem, bro. I just don't like the statement they gave out, but I think him not being brought back is the right decision to not bring him back to Memphis.
I mean, I feel like he's the obvious target just because of what he's done. I mean, say for instance, if he was quiet, right? Just say for instance, if he was quiet throughout the not even the entire season, since the playoffs started or right before the playoffs started, and Memphis lost, I don't think that anybody would be talking about what Dylan Brooks did during the regular season. They'd probably be talking about what John Morant did, right? Instead, but because of his actions and what he did during the playoffs, that pretty much just made him the target, right? It's all Dylan Brooks' fault. It definitely wasn't all his fault,
but he was a factor.
He was a factor. He's like the number one factor pretty much. He brought all this attention on the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are now the most hated team in the NBA. So it's like, I mean, fans hate them, NBA players hate them, coaches hate them. It's just like not a good look. So might as well, like, you know, the organization probably hates him as well, because if you're gonna talk stuff, you're gonna have to back it up.
And then it was to LeBron, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he talked stuff to the most.
To the golden child, bro.
Yeah, the face of the NBA, right? The person who gets the most attention in the NBA. So if you're gonna talk trash, you gotta back it up in some way, offensively or defensively. And he didn't do any of that. So I feel it was a good decision for the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, a team is gonna pick him up. He's not gonna be paying out of town or out of the country or anything. He still be worthy of another NBA team.
This is for the Nihao Dylan Brooks.
But it was just I don't know, it was a weird season for the Memphis Grizzlies. Too much went on, injuries, too much attention. They just need to be humble and get back to the grit and grind. So,
just to make it worse, and say I ain't gonna respect nobody till they give me 40, and when we lose by 40. It's like the Memphis Grizzlies are just a meme. Sadly, that this team is a meme, and
it's crazy because they could be like the most likable team in the NBA.
They could be like the Kings.
Yeah, they could have been the most likable team in the NBA. Like,
had a shot.
Yeah, but they just blew it up. I mean, due to their personnel and the players they have. It's cool. They have a lot of likable players on the team still, but
I mean, Desmond Bain, other than like when LeBron was like, you're talking all that shit, you hitting them. Other than that, he's never really done anything. Nobody on the team has ever done anything except for John Moran and Dylan Brooks. They're like the two that are just causing
fucking rascals.
Too much attention, man.
Yeah, like who hates the Kings? Except for y'all two, but I mean, other than y'all two, like who hates? I'm just telling you, like, the Kings? But they could have.
It wasn't gonna play how you thought.
Memphis could have been so likable, like the Kings, but blew it.
Yeah.
Do you think they would have got rid of Brooks if Memphis won the series?
No.
You think they still would just say get the fuck out?
Wait, just this series?
Let's say they go all the
just
way
one-
to the Western Conference Finals.
Damn, that's a good question.
Would they still let go of Dylan Brooks?
I think anything short of a championship, they would just let him go, bro. Honestly. Because imagine next series, he's going to be talking shit to who? To
KD.
to the Nuggets or
He's
or
gonna be
Dylan Brooks or something. I mean, Devin Booker or something.
Stephen Curry.
There's some teams that may want that though. To be honest, they may want a player like Dylan Brooks to talk trash and just keep that attention on them. Maybe it's like up and coming team.
The
You need somebody
Suns.
like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's going to get picked up for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
he's not a bad player by any means. I see him being a great 3-and-D player for sure. He could be an asset to some team out there. He had his moments, bro. I mean,
yeah, he did for sure, especially in the regular season. It wasn't like he was just a bum. I mean, I remember
Yeah.
him going at the Brooklyn Nets as well with KD and Harden. He won that game for the Memphis Grizzlies. He dropped, I think, like 30 something, and won that game. So yeah, he definitely had his moments. It just you gotta have consistent moments, not just one out of every 10 games and act like you're the best player in the world.
this is the segment where we remember our good memories of Dylan Brooks, bro.
Yeah.
As a Grizzly.
Yeah, I still remember the Cavs game though. That was clutch. That was clutch when he blocked Darius Garland. That was nice.
Oh well.
It's been fun, Brooks.
Yeah, and the Warriors game too. He got Draymond's armpit.
No more Dylan the villain for us.
Nope.
Hey, bro, y'all saw that shit that happened yesterday with Jokic?
I was gonna ask you about that. Yeah.
Bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's some bitch ass shit what they did to Jokic. They gave him a $25K fine for trying to get the ball back from the owner.
For real?
Like-
Yeah, I didn't know they fined
Yeah.
him. I know they got him a technical or whatever.
They got fined. Bro, if he would have got suspended, that's when I would have been like mad, bro. That would have been outrage if they suspended him.
Man,
for
it's
that.
it's bullshit now. Like the game is going on. They just scored. Why the fuck are you holding the ball as a bystander, as a fan? You're not a player. You're not a referee. You shouldn't be holding on to the ball. If it goes your way, okay, grab it, throw it back. But why are you holding that shit?
Yeah, not only did he like hold it, but then
Then he flopped.
when Jokic went and grabbed it, it's like he tightened up on it, like I ain't gonna give it to you, and then that's when like Jokic like, yanked it and pushed his dumb ass. Like
He didn't even. They try to say he elbowed him, bro. He just used his forearm, and it made flop. Man just said, "Peg it to his seat, bro." That's just wild. They gave him a tech for that.
He was the owner. He was actually like the owner of the Suns.
Still, bro.
Yeah,
You
but
should-
yeah. I mean, I feel like it's exaggerated. I feel like they shouldn't have caught anything because I mean, this is an NBA game going on right now. So why are you holding on to the ball?
And it's
So-
playoffs, bro.
Yeah, Jokic has a point, but at the same time, if I was him, I wouldn't have gave it up either. To be honest, I'm holding on to the ball and then Jokic just comes up and tries to grab the ball from me. Are y'all just gonna let him just grab it?
well, I mean, Jokic came up and he was like, I think he was like, hey, like give me the ball,
Because he was
and then
trying
he
to
grabbed
get
it,
the
and
game
then
going.
the owner just like held it tighter, bro.
But I would do the same thing. though.
Hell, I'm letting that shit go.
You let it go?
Jokic
Why?
big as fuck. What the fuck
He's
am I
not
gonna
gonna,
do?
what is he gonna do though? He's not,
Ain't
not
big
gonna
as-
hurt you.
Ain't big as hell. Have you seen his brothers?
Oh, yeah, I'd be more scared of his brother than him. To be
All
honest,
three of them folks. Nah, bro, I'm not holding on to that.
I'm
But-
holding on to it, bro. If
he
anything,
Russian
it'd be
food?
worse. It'd be worse. He's Siberian, I believe.
Serbian.
Oh, Serbian.
Serbian.
Isn't
yeah.
Serbian.
Isn't that the same
I
thing?
say Siberian.
Nah.
Isn't he from Siberia?
No, he's from Serbia.
Oh, okay.
It's the same thing.
Shit, man.
Same thing to us.
He's a Serbian.
don't say that.
We got the history major here, y'all.
He's Serbian, bro. That's in the
Okay.
Balkans, bro. Yeah.
No.
It's not far from where Jonas Valanciunas and where Luka's from either. They're like on the same
And Lucas Slovenian.
Yeah.
Slovakian or whatever. Slovenian.
Slovenian.
I'm finna say, okay. Is it Slovakian?
Valanciunas from Lithuania or something like that. Yeah, he's from there.
There's so many little countries over there in Europe.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I just don't like the fact that other fat fuck put his hands on him. The one that got kicked out. There was a fan that got kicked out. Some fat. Hold on.
Pull it
this up.
over.
Is there a game going on right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My boy Jimmy Bucky's going ham on Jalen Brunson.
For real?
Looking up the fan that pushed.
I thought they were blowing them out or something.
Shit, 54-45, Miami.
Oh dang, he finna go up 3-1.
My boy Jimmy Bucky's got that big old 7 points. Let's go.
But I just don't like the fact that this dude put his hand. He pushed Jokic and they ejected that fan out the. But he looks some little man. I hate entitled people in general. So this is a subject that I just don't, bro. Like, don't touch the fucking players. Like, who the fuck are you to put your hands on the player? This dude, that dude right there. That fat fuck right there with his hands.
Oh man, look what is in his hand.
He got that beard.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Look at his fat ass.
he's fucking just. He doesn't know what's going on.
I'm saying, bro, like, how entitled I mean, I don't care if you're drunk. I don't care, but you don't put your hands on it.
And then he wasn't even like near him. He like got
he
stepped
came up
forward.
and pushed him like, who are you?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm glad they kicked him out.
they should have fined him.
Put his hands up like, help me.
How entitled do you have to be to say, yeah, I can put my hands on an NBA player? I never understood that, bro.
Yeah.
I never understood that. If I was an NBA player and they put their hands on me, it's over, bro. It's malice in the palace. It's malice in the palace, bro. It's over with, bro.
You gonna throw your season away like that?
I don't care.
He can throw his career
I
away.
don't give a fuck.
Crazy. I mean, but speaking of the Denver Nuggets and Suns, I mean, the series is tied now, 2-2.
It was like last week, the Nuggets were looking like the most dominant team in the playoffs, and now we're tied up. But even with that, game 4, it felt like through the first 3 quarters that the Suns just have to be absolutely perfect. And Devin Booker and KD have to be going nuclear, and the bench needs to produce.
They did.
Just for them to keep up with the Nuggets.
They did, though.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, it feel like. I was watching the game. I'm like, bruh. I was like, the Suns got to make this shot. They made it. They got to get this defensive out. They made it, you know. And it's crazy part is, like, the Nuggets are still scoring and, like, in the game to pretty much the last minute.
And then
Shamet
Jokic
stepped up. You know, their
Yeah.
bench was scoring. I mean, without Shamet, that game would have been lost. I remember he came in, he just, like, couldn't miss. Shot, like, 3 threes back-to-back. Gave them some energy. Of course, Devin Booker wasn't missing either. KD hit timely shots, so, man, it was crazy. But, yeah, the Suns had to play perfect pretty much, and they did. It's crazy.
that game and game 3, it feels like the same way. It's like they have to pay. What is going on? They just have to play absolutely perfect, bro. And I don't know if that's sustainable. I was gonna ask y'all that. Like, do y'all think that this scoring output from Devin Booker and KD is sustainable, and the bench, and also, do we not give the Suns enough credit on their depth? They're not the deepest team in the NBA. But if you look at the Nuggets, neither are they, bro. They're not the deepest team in the NBA. Off the bench, they had Chris Brown, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Chris Brown, Jeff Green, and Bruce Brown. Those are the 3 players coming off the bench. And then the Suns ran a 10-man. They ran Landale, Terrence Ross, TJ Warren, Chris Paul comes back, Cameron Payne goes on the bench, and who am I forgetting? Landry Shamet. They're not depleted, bro. They're not depleted of depth. I guess we're just waiting on this moment where they produce. Where they produce.
Yeah, they haven't produced until the last game. Well, that's the only game that they pretty much have produced.
But are they
it's
capable
pretty
of doing
much-
it, though? Do you
I
think
don't
they're capable?
So. I mean, TJ Warren hit a very, I mean, pretty much the dagger the other game. But I don't, you know, I think Landry Shamet, he dropped like 17 or something. I think for the entire series, he had like no more than 7 points total. Right, so it's like, you can't count on that, like Landry Shamet to go off like that again and hit those timely shots. So I don't believe in the Suns bench, especially with Chris Paul out now. It's crazy because they're winning now without Chris Paul. I mean, they won the last 2 games without him. But I don't believe in the Phoenix Suns bench, especially now that the series is going back to Denver. Bench players play better at home. Now that they're going to Denver, it's not going to happen. I got Denver Nuggets winning the next game. And once they go back to Phoenix, I don't know. Maybe they do force it to Game 7. But I feel like once the Denver Nuggets are up 3-2, it'd be hard for the Suns to win the next game. So I feel like whoever wins the next game is going to win the series. And even if Devin Booker and KD perform well in those games, they still got a chance to lose.
Do you have confidence in them to keep up with the scoring output? Like this crazy combining for 80 plus points together again.
It wouldn't be that surprising because those are 2 of the best scorers in the game. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did. But I don't think it's gonna happen this game. I don't think they're gonna combine more than 70 points next game. I just can't see it happening, especially in Denver. I think they're gonna pretty much just shut down like one player completely, and then just let the other player go off. But I just don't see them maintaining this series or the scoring output.
Or the scoring output from either player.
Nah.
You're giving up on the Suns that quick, man?
I mean, I was never high up on them in the first place, though. I just think they're too top heavy. So
I think they're gonna keep it up. Those two for sure. It's the bench that's really gonna be the deciding factor if they win or lose in Denver. But KD and Book, they're both gonna show up. They're both gonna perform. I don't really think you could shut down either one because as soon as you try to lock down the other, as soon as you try to lock down one, the other's gonna just take off. And as soon as he's taking off, they're gonna switch all the defense focus to him. And then the other player's just gonna start taking off. And they both can easily just start getting hot. So I think it's really an issue with the bench continue performing at the high level. Because Book and KD, I think they're gonna get that 70 points.
combined.
Yeah, combined.
Man, to try to predict this, it's hard. I don't want to predict it. I'm not going to predict who's going to win next game. I'm not predicting who's going to win the series, bro. I can't do it.
I still think Denver's gonna win it.
I'm just taking this game by game because as soon as I think I got something on lock and right, I'm wrong. So I think Denver might have to go deeper into their bench, bro. I mean,
How deep can they go, though?
It wouldn't hurt to at least give Reggie Jackson some minutes.
He doesn't play at all.
He's getting DMPs. Ish Smith, I mean, you really don't need him, but DMPs too. Like, those are quality bench players on any other team, but they don't get any minutes for Denver. I don't know if I'm just overreacting because of Game 4 and the Suns bench just made the Denver Nuggets bench look horrible. That's like my main gripe on that series, pretty much.
I mean, yeah, think about it. They were up 2-0 with their pretty much the same lineup that they played. And the games that they lost were pretty much competitive as well. So it's not too far of a stretch for them to win that game. They honestly could have swept the Suns if they would have performed in Phoenix. But as far as those DMPs, I don't know. You know, I think they're doing good without them playing. But yeah, for sure, I think that Reggie Jackson does deserve some minutes for sure. I'm not too sure about Ish Smith, but you know, because in playoff time, the rotation shortened.
Yeah.
There's only so much. You can't play like 10 players. I know you said the Phoenix Suns play 10
Yeah,
players.
they did 10. They flipped the script.
Yeah, teams don't play that, bro. It'll be like 7-8 man rotation, pretty much max, unless you have like a fully, a very deep team. But even then, this is playoff time. You want your best players on the court, observing the most amount of minutes, and you just don't want to gamble and take any chances with your role player. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see who wins the next game. But whoever wins the next game is gonna win the series.
And we were talking about the best player. Are you gonna say something? Sure, bro.
No.
Say it, bro.
I ain't got no specific.
But say it, bro.
Say what?
We were talking about the best playoff performers. Let's talk about the worst. Shift it up a little bit. My guy Julius Randle. In my opinion, he's not built for the playoffs, bro. The way he plays is just not. I don't know if it's also because they're just playing a very ugly matchup in the Miami Heat where they can just shrink the floor on him. They have great defenders, which is attributed to that. But he's just been horrible in both series with Atlanta and New York.
He has the worst shooting percentage
Of any player.
Yeah.
Where has he been?
Huh?
Where has he been? I haven't heard of him at all.
He was hurt for a while, but even when he's on the floor, he's like
Yeah, he missed 2 games. That's all he missed, 2 games.
He's been a no-show.
He's
he's
been
been
nothing.
shooting like what 28% from
He
the
hasn't
field.
had one good game, or not even a decent game. He's just like
In,
not
I
performing at all.
don't even know.
from the past 3 years, he has the worst field goal percentage of any player that's attempted more than 100 shots in the playoffs. He's averaging 15.3 points when he was averaging 25 in the regular season. 8.3 rebounds, 3.6 assists with 3.1 turnovers. So for every assist, He's got a turnover. And he's shooting 23% from 3
damn.
on 7 attempts. And he be taking some stupid shots, bro. He takes some like early threes, contested. I remember there was one play where he had Quentin Grimes open on the wing. Quentin Grimes asked for the ball. And he looked at him and didn't pass it to him and took a contested mid-range shot just to get his first bucket of the game because up to that point he hadn't made a shot.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that it makes me like I root for Julius Randle because and during the regular season and his most improved player year he was such like a Cinderella story, but I started to see stuff like this and then his body language when like he's not hitting shots is like he disengages on defense and he gets moody when things ain't going his way, you know? And yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because we were talking about like the best players.
I mean, you're the only one that really likes him between us three. We never really been high up on it.
Is he gonna could he cost them the series?
It ain't gonna be just him.
Is he gonna be the reason though? When if New York loses, will he be the reason they lose?
He might be the biggest factor, but
He's gonna be the one that's being talked about.
He's not the only. Yeah, he probably will be.
He's going to be. I mean, because you can't put the blame on Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson being all right.
Or RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett's been balling.
Yeah, he's not even expected to really ball like that in the playoffs either. So even if he has if RJ Barrett has a slow series where he just doesn't perform, no one's gonna be like, oh, it's RJ Barrett's fault. I mean, it should be Julius Randle's fault because he's underperformed extremely. It's not like where he's averaging a couple 2 or 4 points less and 1 rebound less. No, he's like it's a complete drop, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as like you're supposed to be one of the best players on the team, or either the one that's attacking us, I'm not too sure at this point. Maybe Brunson is the number 1 option.
He's the number
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
I mean, there ain't no
so-
option.
He just like D Mitchell. He took over the team.
Yeah, so I mean, you're underperforming this bad. You gotta be the reason. You gotta be the main focus. And if they're losing this series, then all the fingers gonna be pointing on Julius Randle, and I feel like he deserves it, to be honest.
Yeah. You got something to say, bro?
Nah, man.
Oh, and Jimmy Butler hasn't yet to make a 3 in this series. I don't know if he hit one already in this. If he hit one in this game, this is his first 3.
I doubt he hit a 3.
Yeah, he's still averaging 20, 27.
My boy Jimmy Buckets.
What's more significant, the Knicks being down, or the Heat being up, bro? What's more surprising to you?
I mean, I feel like that he was gonna win the series regardless. So I'm not surprised. I feel like he's at a good spot right now. 2-1. Looks like Miami may win. It'll be 3-1. And as I said before, I just don't see this Miami Heat team losing to the Knicks because they beat the Milwaukee Bucks, who I had going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, I hate to say that, but
And they're up by 8 right now against the Knicks.
yeah. So it looks like the Heat are gonna go against either the Celtics or 76ers, one of them.
Man, it's just crazy to think that they beat the Bucks.
Easily too. Like,
Will this be the first time that an AC makes it to the conference finals? If they win? I have to Google
Shit.
that.
has
Gotta-
Memphis done it before?
Gotta look that up.
No, they beat
When they
San
beat the
Antonio
Spurs?
Spurs. It was the first round.
Yeah, they made it out to the first round, but they didn't make it to the conference finals.
okay.
From
Maybe.
from AC to conference finals. And it's so crazy how the Heat last year were the number 1 seed in the East. And now they're the number 8 seed. And they're going to the conference finals.
Well, we know the
Man, oh,
7th
man.
seed is going to make it to the conference finals
What are you talking about?
in the West.
Oh, you want to talk about that series?
Man.
So we go into the West. We know the 7th seed is going to make it to the finals. I don't know if there's a stat for that. Has that ever been done before?
Let's say the Lakers won, bro. Let's just dip in a little bit into the 76ers and Celtics, bro. Just,
I don't know. Why we got to say the Lakers won?
Save the best for last.
Let's say the best one. That's been the best series so far. Don't. I mean, what kind of? There've been 2 blowouts, but
Yeah.
it's been the best series
Back
so
to
far.
back.
Has it been the best series?
Hell yeah. What's better?
The Sixers and Celtics. Well, I mean, they've been
that's a
blowouts.
nice ass series.
I mean,
Good series.
even the Suns and Nuggets has been 2-2 as well.
Yeah, they've been good series. All right. I'm not having a good playoffs. Bro, the 76ers have won their 2 games by a combined of 5 points, and the Celtics have won both of their games by a combined of 48 points. I saw that stat, and I was like, what in the world? And I think the person that's getting the most attention right now, obviously, is James Harden.
Yeah.
Because in 2 games that they've won, he's been ultra aggressive.
Crazy.
And does he still have that vintage Harden left in him? Do you really think he's just not like tapping into it, and he's really just trying to be a complete facilitator, and he's holding himself back in the system he's playing with the Sixers?
He's holding himself back for sure. I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes. When Embiid doesn't play, he looks to score. It's like he looks to score. He looks to be aggressive and be the best player on the court. But with that Embiid, we've seen it with the losses. He isn't aggressive. He isn't making his shots. His playmakers off. He's turning the ball over more, which I really don't get with Embiid playing. I feel like he should bring that same energy when Embiid is on the court, because that'll take more pressure off of Embiid. It'll take more pressure off of Tyrese Maxey. It'll take pressure off pretty much the entire team. So I don't see why those two players, the two best players on the team, can't go off at once. You know, we see with the Phoenix Suns.
They did it finally yesterday. Finally they did it. Like finally they did it.
And they won, right? I mean, went to OT. They got a aggressive game and eventually won. But I just don't see why James Harden isn't that same person. I mean, I don't expect him to be that same, have the same scoring output, like dropping 40 each game. But he can still average, or have like a 25-point game with Embiid on the court. I see that happening. I can see him adding on 10 assists, even with playing again alongside Embiid, because that pick and roll is deadly. And Embiid is the MVP, right? You have an MVP on your team. You have an All-Star on your team. You have an up-and-coming superstar pretty much in Tyrese Maxey. Tobias Harris has been pretty quiet for the most part, but at this point, I kind of expect that. I don't really rely on Tobias Harris, but I just don't see how those two players can really dominate and just, win the game easily against the Celtics team. I'm not too sure what's going on, but it'll be fun to see both of them going crazy. Just take the series over.
Yeah, it really just lies on whether or not James Harden can bring out that prime beard, because, man, like, he's pretty much the big elephant in the room. When he goes off, Philly wins, but when he's struggling, they're getting their ass blown out. And, all right, so not only was John Morant struggling for like half of the series, but yesterday, a player that surprised me of how he was struggling, primarily in the first half, will be Jason Tatum. Now, he went 0 for 8.
He 1 for 9, ain't he? He went 1 for 9.
Yeah, I think 0 for 9.
1 for 9. But he turned up in the second half, though.
Yeah, but, I mean, even then, like, he was doing the other things other than scoring. He was playing defense. He was trying to find his man, rebounding. Like, go watch.
Well,
Then that was at 2 p.m.?
Yeah.
And we're ready.
Damn.
We're ready to lose. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, who y'all got in that series?
Philly.
I'm not saying anything, man. I'm not giving input. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
predict
Philly.
series.
I got Philly.
You had Philly before you even started, though,
Yeah.
right?
I'm not predicting series.
Who did you have that before
I had
series?
Philly, but I'm not. At this point, I'm not gonna predict anything.
You don't want to jinx them?
I don't want to. I'm just taking things game by game because there's just so much that goes into these series. It's amazing. Just like, for example, I'm not trying to jump ahead, but with the Warriors series, you see how they're just switching things up every single game. Every single game, someone gets switched up. Kevon Looney gets put on the bench, and Kevon Looney's grabbing 20 boards, but he gets benched for JaMychal Green. This is a type of drastic.
It was because he was sick.
Yeah, and also because of the shooting, just to add some more shooting and test that out, and because.
I mean, it was the first game they did that.
First game because
out.
he was sick, and then last game they stuck with it.
They fucked around and found out that shit ain't gonna cut.
They stuck
I
with
don't even know if he was
JaMychal.
really sick, to be honest. I feel like the Warriors made an excuse.
Nah, bro. I think he was sick for real, bro.
How you know, though, bro? How you know he was sick?
You sick right now, fool?
No, I'm not sick.
I mean, we don't know. I mean, isn't this that time of year where Michael Jordan had his
Flu
quote
game.
unquote flu game?
I don't believe in that either. I'm just playing.
I don't know.
No, but I mean, yeah, I feel like, yeah, okay. I wouldn't be surprised if he was sick, but I feel like the Warriors, like, they really didn't care if he was sick or not, right? Because they're like, all right, cool. We have somebody we can swap you out with and change the game plan and just switch things up. And they won that game that JaMychal Green started. He stretched the floor. But I don't know. It's an interesting series. Lakers winning though.
Oh yeah.
I can't say nothing, bro. I'm not giving an opinion on any 4 range series.
What is your opinion about the series so far, though, just in general?
My opinion, what I've seen so far.
Lakers hater. What you got to say, man?
No. The Lakers been playing good. Other than Anthony Davis being like a seesaw, pretty much up and down.
Yeah.
What remains consistent with him is, and the most impactful thing for him is his defense, and how his defense is disrupting what the Warriors try to do in the rim.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I fucked around and found out how much of a great defender, defensive player of the year, he's playing like the defensive player of the year right now. And Anthony Davis is the single most important player in this series out of both teams. He's the one that's going to tip the scale towards the Lakers winning, in my opinion. You can make the argument for Stephen Curry too, and what I'm waiting for is a big game from Stephen Curry. I'm waiting for an explosion from Stephen Curry because I feel like that's coming at some point. Klay Thompson had a big game. He had 8 threes. Like, he's had his game. He's been playing great. But Stephen Curry is the one that kind of remains. Like, bro, when are you gonna go off, bro?
Yeah.
Like, at what point are you gonna go off? But it's the same thing with AD too. It's like, when are you gonna go off, AD? Like, we saw him kind of do it last game. He only had like 25 points, but still, it was a good game because the game before that he had 11 points.
Yeah.
But what I'm taking from it, yeah, he's like the most important one, and LeBron's still doing his thing. I really can't say nothing about LeBron. And I'm telling you that Draymond Green is a Hall of Famer. He impacts the game more than you can see on the box score. You can see in the series on their wins, and the series has been blowout. Everything's different. It's been a good series, though. It's been a good series to see.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just appreciating each series for what it is. I'm not trying to jinx. I'm not trying to predict. I ain't trying to be outlandish
Yeah.
and say something stupid. And then the last stupid thing I said was De'Aaron Fox is better than Ja, but I don't even think that was really a reach.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I don't think it's a reach either. I mean, they're pretty much head to head. But yeah, I do agree that we should, no matter what, we should appreciate the series that we're seeing right now between the Lakers and the Warriors because we have, I mean, LeBron and Steph going at it again. This has been pretty much a story right throughout their entire careers for two of the greatest of all time, two of the greatest basketball players that have ever lived going against each other. So this might be the last time we see it. We never know, we never know if they'll meet each other again in the playoffs. So, I mean, just to see them two go at it or just play against each other, I'm just appreciating this and just want to take it all in. It's
been a long
for real. It's crazy because we're seeing like these players who are so old right now in NBA terms. They're still going at it and they still look like the best people on the court. So shout out to Curry, shout out to LeBron. It's a pleasure seeing them still being in the playoffs and still performing at a high level, especially at this point in this career. So I'm just very thankful that I'll get to see this, and I hopefully everyone else is thankful as well. Because like I said, we're never gonna see this again. One of the greatest basketball players of all time and the greatest shooter in NBA history going at it.
It is like the 4th time they've been in the playoffs in the last 8 years.
Shit seems like 20. I feel like they always meet, but
It's like
this is their 5th time in total, right?
it's somewhere around there. I'm not
I
too
think
sure.
it's
time.
4th
The
because it
5th.
was 15, 16, 17. It was the first year they got up. Curry and Warriors upset the homecoming. The next year LeBron came and the Cavs came back down 3-1. Then the next 2 years,
They lost to
KD.
KD.
yeah,
Yeah.
KD. So that's 4, and now
then
this is the
year,
5th.
yeah, it's 5th time they see each other in the
The
playoffs.
last 8 years, that's more than half the fucking finals that just in playoffs that we saw Curry versus Steph.
Yeah.
It happened so quick too.
No, not
It
Curry
really
versus
did.
LeBron.
These years went by so quick, bro.
And another thing that we haven't seen is KD against LeBron too.
Man, we haven't seen that series.
We haven't seen it in
that matchup.
years.
We only seen that what?
Not even in the
Wow.
regular season. Not
It
even
was
in the playoffs.
2012, bro.
I mean, even in the regular season, we haven't seen that. So
yeah,
it's one thing I'm still waiting on that matchup to happen.
Phoenix and Lakers advance.
I don't know about Phoenix now.
I'm saying, imagine that.
Nah, yeah.
That'd be
That'd be cool. It'd be like, I think if that happens, this would be like one of the best stories as far as like matchups, NBA playoffs wise, matchups, one of the best I've seen in a while. If you look at starting from the very beginning to all the teams that have played against each other and just all the drama and rivalries that have been going on, it's one of the best I've seen in a while for sure.
Playoffs.
Yeah,
I think this whole season. I think this has been just a great season. I don't want to bring it up right now, but I will talk about it later about the season in total. I think we've already forgotten about some crazy stuff that happened in the season, and if I remind y'all about it, y'all gonna be like, oh yeah, yeah. You remember that happened in November and December? We didn't even fucking remember that shit anymore. That shit went by fast.
Really
God
did.
damn.
I still remember the 2-10 start for the Lakers. When they were 2-10. I
Yeah,
still remember the Utah Jazz being the best team in the NBA.
I still remember
Pelicans.
Steve. I still remember
Best
Steve
team.
Nash coaching Brooklyn Nets.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Man, that team changed so much.
Y'all were expecting me to come on here and just hate on the Lakers, huh? You probably trying to set me up. Probably trying to corner me.
You been hating on them all year. What
Nah,
you mean?
bro. I'm appreciating every single game for what it is, man.
Yeah.
I'm a changed man.
Just how you change with
I
my
haven't
boy Jimmy
changed
Buckets.
because the New York Knicks still ain't making no noise. I'm not changing my mind about
I'm
the
mature-
Knicks. Not gonna lie.
I'm maturing, bro. And one. Damn.
Going to the foul line.
Yeah. Y'all got anything?
I think that's every series, right?
Yeah.
I feel like something else happened. Is there something else? I think something else big happened. Can't remember.
Joel Embiid won the MVP.
Oh yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was talking
Joel
about.
Embiid won the MVP.
Did we all have Embiid as MVP?
I had Embiid as MVP.
Me too.
For
You had
sure.
Embiid as MVP.
I think I had Jokic.
Oh yeah, Jokic. That's a fun. Nah,
Don't.
it was a toss up, but yeah, shout out to Embiid. Well deserved. I feel like he just deserved it.
No, bro. They
Yeah.
gave it because what Kendrick Perkins said, bro.
It was his time, man. It was his
But nah,
time.
he did deserve it. Like, he was a great player this year.
He was just in line for it, bro. It was his
Yeah.
moment.
Can't get upset.
Mm-hmm.
Who won the scoring title? Was it Embiid too?
Embiid.
Okay, yeah.
Embiid won scoring title and MVP.
Hey, that's a crazy.
Damn.
That's crazy accomplishment to win both
Mm-hmm.
scoring title and MVP.
Most unstoppable force, bro.
Yeah.
He's the most unstoppable player. And we're gonna get the all NBA teams, and I think Wednesday they're gonna announce the all NBA teams.
I think in a week it's gonna be the NBA draft.
Already?
Then May 15th or 16th it's the NBA draft.
Damn.
We're gonna see where Victor goes.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
We're gonna see Victor chilling there with a little tuxedo. Gonna put on a little hat.
Long ass tuxedo.
Man,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a wild draft.
You got anything to add? Comments, questions, concerns? Forever hold y'all's peace.
That's it for me. Miami's winning this series. Lakers advancing. Nuggets advancing.
That's what it looks like.
It's gonna be Philly.
And
Philly.
hopefully Philly wins. I ain't gonna lie. I'm tired of seeing the Celtics making their deep playoff run. I want to switch up. So yeah, hopefully San Francisco win.